The second southern colony, Maryland, received a royal charter in 1632, 25 years after Virginia was founded. Maryland was the first of what were called the proprietary colonies. That is, colonies that were run by an owner or proprietor. The first proprietor of Maryland was a wealthy Catholic nobleman named Cecil Calvert, also known by his official title, Lord Baltimore. Proprietors such as Calvert were the men to whom kings granted colonial charters. Colonial charters normally required the proprietors to abide by basic English laws, but they were given the right to use the colony's land and to defend and administer the colony as they saw fit. Calvert wanted the colony of Maryland to be a place in which large estates would be owned by Catholic noblemen, who would then profitably rent out the land to others. St. Mary's City, the first capital of Maryland, was founded in 1634, when colonists sailing from England arrived on the shores of a beautiful inlet of the Chesapeake Bay, not far from the eastern boundary of Virginia. On board the ships were 2 Catholic priests and the families of 17 Catholic gentlemen. In addition, there were about 200 other people who were mostly members of the Church of England. In the beginning, some colonists moved into houses in which Native Americans had lived. They furnished them with their own belongings, but soon they constructed English-style houses and other buildings. Over the years, St. Mary's City turned into a busy little port town, serving the needs of a major tobacco exporting colony. As the headquarters for Maryland's colonial government, it was the only place for colonists to come if they had dealings with the court. And to accommodate such travelers, St. Mary's City had a well-equipped ordinary or public inn. The young women who worked at the inn in St. Mary's City were indentured servants. Indentured servants were people who had signed a contract or indenture in which they agreed to work in the colony without pay, usually for around 6 years, in exchange for free transportation to America. Indentured servants were common in all the colonies. Usually, they were people who had decided to leave England because of poverty. Although indentured servants provided a lot of cheap labor in Maryland and the other colonies, they were legally free to go as they pleased once their contracts had been fulfilled. In fact, most of them stayed on to start their own farms and to raise families. In contrast, the colony's legal system bound the slaves who did most of the work on the plantations to a lifetime of forced labor. Religious struggles erupted in Maryland not long after it was founded. They occurred mainly because Catholics controlled its government, yet they made up only a small fraction of its population. This caused resentment among many colonists. When Puritans, who strongly disliked Catholics, flooded into Maryland, violence broke out. To soothe his colonists, Lord Baltimore replaced the Catholic governor with a Protestant one. And even more importantly, in 1649, here at the colony's capital in St. Mary's City, Maryland enacted a Religious Toleration Act which guaranteed freedom of worship to all Christian faiths. The Toleration Act was the first step ever taken to promote freedom of religion on the American soil.